It is pointless to resist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 265, being recorded on June 26, 2024. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. Got Grand Admiral Franz here.
Hey.
And that's all I need for tonight.
All right.
Just me and Chris.
Oh,
just
man.
Duking it out or not duking it out or holding hands. We'll see.
We'll see.
But,
it's like the 90s. We can just be happy and talk Star Wars.
Yeah, all right.
Today,
We're
I think.
happy today.
Look at us.
We'll see, right? We could shock you. The following could shock you. But Ernie the Fallen Fett might be joining us a little later as soon as he's done over there.
Celebrating his 500 subscriber.
You got to do it. You got to do it. Why is my background red? I don't know. That always symbolizes a bloodbath happened. We'll see. And I'm like here for it. But before we get into all that good stuff, because I know we got so much to talk about. The pit's excited. I'm excited. Chris is excited. But we got a Shadow Council to shout out and pay our bills. So, Chris.
Right on. And thank you all for paying our bills, the Shadow Council. We're going to go ahead and shout you out now. AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C., Cliff, Commander Cook, Crystal E., Dennis McGrath, who I did see this last week sporting his Shadow Council shirt.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Don, the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Gavin Connor currently from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Justin, the Vanilla Thunder. I'm trying to do Scott's deal there. Couldn't quite get it. I was trying to do the Sunday. Couldn't quite come out. Luke, a.k.a. LOB Collects. Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Nicholas Schaefer, Papa Schmitty, and Ryan in the Star Joe's podcast. And coming in this week, we did not have a chance to update the slide, but Obi, Sean Kenobi, and Muftak is back, have joined the Shadow Council.
Yes.
So
oh my God.
thank you all so much. As Mooch mentioned, it's really keeping the bills, keeping the lights on. You know, we obviously don't do this for the money. We just do this to talk to each other like we always have, and our friends online. You know, but all the help to pay the bills because it's not free. So,
no,
appreciate you.
StreamYard's pretty expensive, but yeah guys, thank you so much. And of course, everybody who's in the pit that's already hit that like button and already subscribed and hit that notification, but they get a shout out too, Chris. So
heck yeah, let's shout them out. Rhino Hobby is in there first, right on. No One Watches RD is in there with us, and Don the Dad Dorn is there as well. And hi all minus Scott. I say that every day. Good morning, guys. Minus Scott. John, yo! And then we got Sin City Villain, Howl Runner Base, and Junobi. What's up, Julie?
Yes.
And
Obi-Shan.
Obi-Shan Kenobi. There we go. Obi-Shan Kenobi and Obi-Wan Chingones.
Yeah.
What is up, y'all? Here we go.
Coming in right at that
and
stretch.
Gordon.
Nice.
What's happening, Gordon?
You guys are awesome. Yeah, the pit is just awesome. And of course, they're all anxious to see what is going on.
Basil G.
Wow. See, Basil's back. All right.
We're jumping in this thing.
We got to, man, because no One Watches RD says, I have noticed the channels and streams that talk objectively and positively about the Acolyte seem to be shadow banned, unlike the hundreds of clone channels hating on the show. I haven't seen that. We haven't gotten any kind of,
I tried to stay offline this last day anyway.
Yeah.
I told myself I was not going to go look at a bunch of stuff, no matter what, so I wouldn't have noticed it because I didn't want it to sully my vision of
I'm with you.
And now I want to see what happens after the show when I go online and start seeing the madness. It has to be there, I'm sure.
Well, I tell you what, like I don't get myself involved in the socials and that stuff, but I haven't noticed it not like last week.
It can't be. There's no way. There's no way. It could be like last week. You saw me last week. I was losing my mind.
I know. Yeah.
The show, right?
Yeah.
So McNugget.
I love it.
I hope McNugget talks a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. McNugget.
I want to keep bringing up some. Oh, we got another nugget coming in from McNugget. Let's do it.
Hey,
Scott Solo. I don't know. You're talking about small crew.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Small crew.
So Scott.
So the sentiment out there has been quite positive, but of course it's they always say, hey, this is great, but Grace is great, but and I'm like, okay, hey, everybody has the right to their opinion.
They get the story still has to be told, right? But what we got today was a treat.
Yeah.
Right. So, it added to some story. It gave us some badass action, some things we probably didn't expect, something we did expect, but it was done flawlessly.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
And we called that on day one. I know it ended up being quite obvious over time.
Obvious over time. And is that on purpose? And if you don't know what we're talking about, we will get into, of course, the thing. Because my mind, after this episode, my head was spinning on like, okay, we're 5 episodes in, and we know we got a flashback or some exposition coming on May's stuff or OSHA May's version of what happened on that stuff and what Soul's real object or feelings behind this whole thing. There's a lot of sadness there.
They've been pumping that up for a minute. So I mean, do you think they're gonna wait till the end for that?
I believe it's coming next week.
You think?
And and I have a whole.
But they're not together.
Next week, I'll have to try to talk.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Yeah, we'll get.
Yeah, because I don't think they're going to be together when it's being announced. But I'll go ahead and go first as far as like so like I'm like I said, solid B. I'm still right at that from day one.
I forget we were on a show half the time. I was just ready to start ripping back and forth and just go.
It's gonna be fast riffing because it's the two of us, right?
It really is.
And the pit, of course, but
be done in 20 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm on that trajectory of a solid B still for this entire show. I've been on it since day one. I'm really buying into it. Yeah, there's a lot of issues, but The issues I don't see until the end of the show is done and complete, and then it's presented as that whole, and then that's when I'll like reassess and go in there, because there is some major concerns I still have, but we're not there yet for me to panic. You know what I mean? So I'm always like, okay, sit back and wait. I thought tonight's show was this week's show was going to be all about the flashback, and they were going to leave us hanging for a week on this, bloodbath, and it went right into it. So I was like on the edge of my seat this whole show, this episode, and I was thrilled with it. And then I was kind of like, I actually got sad a couple of times, like whoa, and even on my rewatch, the emotion still hit me. And so I'm like, you know what? I think the show to me, it's doing a great job in my own personal viewing of the Acolyte and everything. And again, I'm in it like it's not that fact that I'm like just like, oh, I'm living on this hill by myself. I'm just like, you know what? I'm enjoying this. This is really good. It's actually really good, in my opinion, all of it. So, what was your thoughts?
Overall, show still C's, could be a C plus maybe with this one.
Okay, yeah.
This one was an A minus maybe. I mean, it was solid, man. I mean, it was fun. And it was Star Warsy, and it had a cool villain, and I mean, looked badass. The fight choreography was intense. Yeah, everything about it. I mean, start to finish. And here's the deal: no bad acting in this one. Right? No. I mean, I didn't have to deal with Vernestra once.
Not yet.
Not yet. Everybody in here did their part well too.
Yeah.
Jecki has always. You start to like Jecki, and you think you're gonna get somewhere with this character, and that happened. You're like, oh, well, shit. All right, but I dug her.
Jecki was my favorite of that group so far.
And Yord, I mean, I was back and forth on him the whole time. There were times where I thought he was awesome, and times where I thought he sucked. But I think that was the part he was supposed to play.
Yes,
right.
100%. Yes,
I never thought his acting was bad. I just wasn't sure about the character.
It was that hard edge, by the book character that was kind of annoying. Yeah.
But so those were. I was shocked. I was happy.
Yeah.
I got the surprise. We all knew wasn't a surprise.
Right. Surprise, not surprise.
Yeah, and they talked more about. I mean, and the dialogue was really good. Right, the dark dialogue with him. With Kabir.
Yeah.
Everything that he said, I was like pinned on. I'm like, come on. I'm like everything. It was really good.
Nice,
as far as me though, I expected this. This is because the writers we read last week had both episodes.
It was like a part A, part B kind of deal.
And now the part where they stopped was the most logical place to stop, meaning.
And I agree with that.
Beginning of this fight.
Yeah.
And then they were going to take off from there. By the way, I like the first bit there where you see all the lines of people that got pushed, right?
I'm telling you, dude.
And the one dead Jedi. That was a great start right there to show that bit. Good
the attention to detail is.
I didn't notice who the director was, but they knocked this one out. This was really good.
Yeah. Real fast, Ernie, I'll introduce you in the show and get your thoughts here. Julie coming in with that $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm hoping you're feeling better with this episode. Julie, I think we mostly on the same page here, and we'll get everybody's thoughts. But Ernie, welcome to the show, man. You got a chance to talk about this already. I want to hear your thoughts. Was this bad? Was this just totally bad for you?
Bro, I had a chance to talk about this with the Star Wars.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Calm down.
Now that I had that one, let me do my real thoughts here. They ruined Star Wars. Who fights with lightsabers?
Yeah, right.
Who has choreographed scenes of new fighting styles? That's ridiculous. We don't. The original was Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. Dude, this
George Lucas's original vision was not.
Vision was white fighting sticks like kendo sticks. Okay, this CGI laser swords. Oh my god, dude, this was freaking awesome.
Yeah,
I was excited at the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
I was yelling at Corinne during the whole thing. I'm texting Yoko in the middle of it for notes because there was just so much going on. Dope episode. Yeah. And I can't believe you guys weren't there for me because you all had to watch it later. And so I could not message anything. And thank God I saw your guys' messages.
Oh yeah,
I watched this. This is the one I was able to watch on time. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I saw I'm waiting. I can't. And I was like,
when
Okay.
when Chris
All right,
came
what
in
am
with
I
that
gonna do?
one
I just-
word
yeah.
reaction, wow.
Oh,
I
I could get. I knew nobody had watched it, so I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
That was my first text too. Was
Yeah.
just wow.
just like
No,
wow.
it was great.
Yeah.
Didn't expect
There
that.
was so much. I was there for all the fighting styles.
Nice.
I even made a note of Wu-Tang fighting style, and what I mean
Yeah,
by
yeah,
that
yeah.
was that enter the 36 chambers, kind of crouching tiger, hidden dragon for those couple of seconds of the feet shuffling and the fighting of the hand-to-hand combat. I was like, dude, this is dope. And
Every
does
bit of
anybody
fight.
realize that
Yeah.
he killed a Jedi without a weapon, just like
Yeah.
he was telling her to do?
Oh,
right?
dude. That whole, I probably rewound that 6 times just to watch it. I'm like, man, that move, the whole move was so sweet. The turnaround,
Yes.
boom, snap, and like just keeping his eye contact out. I'm like, dude, this guy is ridiculous. I love him.
Yes.
McNugget saying director of this episode was also directed Daredevil prison fight scene.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Give this man a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
And
care
thanks
if
for the
it's all
nugget,
fighting.
McNugget. Dig it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think when McNugget brings stuff
So
up, it's
that
gonna be
happened,
fun.
and then to see the goriness that you knew was there but
Oh,
wasn't on
dude.
camera.
Yeah. Dude,
So-
snapping a neck is
Okay.
gory for Star Wars,
Okay,
right?
so
For-
that is, and they showed it. But what I'm talking
Yeah.
about is our childhood conversations where we didn't have internet, we didn't have behind the scenes. You were at school with friends, always talking about, I don't understand why then you can't fight like this. The disabling and hitting of the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fantasy. The force pulling somebody into a saber you've already stabbed somebody
Yes.
with. And then what I mean is the goriness off camera.
Basil
If you-
called it a Sith kebab.
the Sith
Yes.
kebab, yeah.
But
I
then
know exactly
after
where he's
that,
getting to. Yeah.
he decapitated him.
He decapitated him. I was like,
And you have to know that after it happened because they don't show it. But
No.
that's what he did.
but the tree was there. It was
Yes.
it was implied, and I was like I said, with that
Yeah.
my second
Yeah.
vision,
Rewatch.
watching. I even
Yeah.
told you guys I'm all Star Wars is a kids movie. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I like I always said, there's room for this type of action, and she didn't hold back, like writing this or directing. It's just like the series is not holding back on a lot of levels. Okay, and like I said, there's still
They had held back on saber
moments.
fights until today.
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard a lot of people like really liking the show, but then be like, it's kind of boring or it's kind of anticlimactic. And I was like, yeah, it's like a murder mystery, Perry
It is.
Mason kind of deal. But then, boom, it's like, okay, cool. Like that second half, if the energy continues through this second half of this show, it's really going to put everything in perspective. It already has. You know what I mean? I will get to all the I know the guys are like, everybody in there is really chomping at the bit to.
So I enjoyed it. There was a lot of story. The reveal, we knew that. I didn't know he was that buff. I didn't know his fighting style. I do hate that there is no name.
Well, there's the theories on this now. Let's get into.
Well, first, but you love his outfit, right? When he came
It
out,
has something on the back.
But yeah, he does. But what he reminded me of with the mask and the sleeveless was Star Killer, right? Like I was all over that with him. I'm like, whoa, man, this is like really feeling Star Killer.
As you say that, it popped in my head.
Yeah,
you're
wouldn't
right.
that be cool? I mean, I don't care about on Star Killer a race swap. I could give a damn. I really could, right? Even though I love Whitwer and all this stuff.
Sure.
I'd be cool if this was like a reimagining of Star Killer earlier.
Okay.
Not
Why
Vader's,
not?
Not Vader's apprentice. You know that ship sailed, right?
Yeah.
So let's put him back somewhere else.
Yeah.
I liked his whole look, dude. And like you said, Eddie's jacked, right? I didn't expect that. So now we got a jacked, and somebody else got some calling Smilo Ren.
Smilo Ren.
This guy's the whole thing, the whole shebang.
I do want to kick it off by talking about him, the nameless one. I have no name. Come
the
here.
stranger.
The
stranger.
subtitles. Me and Chris watched it with subtitles. Said stranger.
Okay, you did. It said stranger.
It said stranger.
Now this is where my theory crafting cap came on immediately when he said that. I was like, this is not the master.
Right.
He's the apprentice, and he hasn't gotten his title yet. He hasn't gotten the title of Darth or whatever it is from his master. And that's why I'm nobody until he's even though May's the acolyte, or maybe not anymore. Maybe now it's one of the two.
Osha's going to be his acolyte now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he honestly, I felt like I really felt that he answers to somebody, because there was a mention in there where he said something about, and I wish I wrote it down, and I'm sure I'll it'll come to me, but he did say something about like he did say something like, we don't think this or whatever.
You're right.
And I know it was Sith, but at the same time, I kind of like put it into, or as a like his master and him.
It was last week he said something, right?
Yeah.
He said the I we.
Yeah.
He did that during a sentence.
Something like that. It made it look like, more than.
Yeah. Or was he, because they were talking like there were two people though. And I think he said I mean, we didn't have a deal like that. Right? Meaning maybe that was the step up to show he was this guy. But I agree with you. I still agree with you. I don't know if that hint was it. It could be. But I just have a feeling his name is the Stranger. That's what does it to me.
Speaking of the Stranger, he did the Clark Kent that we talked about perfectly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He really did. When that mask fell and she cracked it off, and he,
oh man,
his face,
dude. Yes. Yeah. That was
everything.
And you know
about
what?
him
I love the campiness, because that is Star Wars. I'm sorry, guys, but it's
there. It's there.
You didn't know. You didn't have a clue. You really didn't know. Yeah.
I love that.
That was funny.
I did wear a mask.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh wow.
And
that was pretty good.
Yeah. Besides Vader and Palpatine, like, the Sith did taunt a lot of people, like, but they're like, it's all in the comics that they taunted their opponents. And
Vader
he did
does too. All I sense is fear and dead.
That's true too. Yeah, egging them on, and like, I do like that. Like I said, the reveal was amazing, and I said to us as a viewer, of course, we're like, yeah, okay, we knew like it was telegraphed, and I felt like it was like telegraphed so like on purpose, because at the end there's something going to be, like I said. To me, again, I'm gonna throw this out there early, and you can sit on this. But I feel like episode 8, that last 5 minutes of that teaser, he's gonna go to maybe stabbed and failing, but the shadowy figure is gonna turn around, and it's gonna be Plagueis, and it's gonna be a monk in a robe, and he's gonna say something like, "Where you failed now," or like, "I'll take," almost like the Thanos thing, like, "I'll take care of this." Can't send you there, and that's where I kind of like where I'm hinting. I want this to happen now, and I'm building myself up to happen. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be disappointed, blah, blah, blah. But it just was like, this is only episode 5, and he did all those things, everything he said. I'm like, let's go. This is great. Now he's part of something bigger. And I think not having a name was so important. I really do. He
I love the way he said it.
Like,
I love the way he said it. I don't really have a name, but Jedi like you would call me Sith.
Yeah.
That was dope. And then where he said too, you Jedi, something of you don't do this, you don't like this, like the way that he was acknowledging everything was
well, he had attacked him from behind. He's all attacked me from behind while my back is turned. He's all, that's not a Jedi thing to do.
Rules.
And he blocked him too. He went backwards and still got blocked. That dude is
getting
badass.
That anger. The fight scenes were great.
I want to say
when he came running into the screen that one time, right? Sometimes he's walking like a horror villain or floating in.
Yes.
But then he comes down hunched running. I'm like, oh, this guy is
that. And that whole, there was that shot when he's chasing May, and that close up on him, and it's just a face, and it was just kind of like, and then it zoomed back, and he was taunting her. Was it May or somebody forgot, again.
I think that was it when he was after May.
Yeah. And it's like, you see his face, and then it zoomed in again. And then I was just like, this is so badass. And like,
really was.
Again, man, like I really
how runner base, that was one too. The one that Chris said, but that too was you won't let me exist.
Oh yeah.
I'm not allowed to.
I want to be free. Like, what's your purpose? Like, freedom for me to do what? And this has been the
I don't make the rules, the Jedi do.
Yeah.
Right? You saw my face, I kill you. I don't make the rules. I'm like, man,
and you know who's selling it? And Soul, he's selling it because his face changed every time he spoke, like, oh crap, like no one's making that.
You saw him getting angry. I do hate that May stopped. I mean, that Osha stopped him.
Egging him on he was angry. Faceless master. What kind of master doesn't show his face?
You should you tell me.
Man, on and on and on. That dude was. I didn't really think about that much, but everything he said was really.
Everything he said, and then he, like I said, it put things in perspective from the very first episode about how the Jedi are gatekeeping who uses the Force, whatever. And like I said, on the grand scheme of things, the reason why they have kept the Sith at bay is because the Jedi has spread out their reach and stopped everything before they. That's why they take the children before they can get corrupted. That's why they stop dark magic or dark side magic things from going on. It might be seen as intrusive and bullying, but at the same time, you see what happens in the grand scheme of light and dark, right? This is the Jedi's purpose was
here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When
what
Jackie.
You're saying that goes to a point what you're explaining and trying to explain about the Jedi, and God, this really makes a turn in your head, right? Like, dude, they're stealing babies and everything, and he brings that point again. Another good one of you brought the child here.
Oh,
right.
no. God damn!
Right? That's what I'm saying.
She's just a child. You brought her.
You brought her,
like, man.
Who can you really blame there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I know you're going on
getting
with
a
your
stranger
explanation
tattoo next, man.
of the Jedi.
Come on it.
I know you're going through your explanation of the Jedi and everything, but Chris is right. He had an answer for everything.
For everything.
Hal Runner base. Did you guys see the Black Series helmet reveal today? Anybody getting it? Because I think Scott's getting it. Yeah.
I think
Scott's
that
getting
might be one I'll end up with.
It's too badass. Yeah. It's too badass. Yeah.
So I was going to say something else. Let's jump to the helmet real quick. Yeah. No, the cortosis, right?
Yeah. So why?
So at first I didn't catch the headbutt. I had to go back to see what happened. I had to rewind.
Yeah.
I'm all
gauntlets.
And a gauntlet on his. But he went to that first one that he did the first two, right? I'm all, and he had blocked two. I'm all, hold on. I'm all, he's not just cutting the ends off sabers, is he? Right? And I checked it out.
Me too.
Oh my god. I said, and
then I thought Beskar. Then you thought, right?
That's what I thought. I thought it was something Mandalorian that we're getting into that lore, his helmet, and that's what I thought. But then I heard of this. So, Chris, go on for those who don't know.
This is the first time we've seen cortosis in live action, right? It's been canon for a little while. It's been in the books. It was in the old legends. It's like one of the strongest materials in the galaxy. It's similar to Beskar. It can withstand
super conductive.
It can withstand a hit from a lightsaber. But what it also does is it shorts it out for a short period of time. Right? There's a point where Thrawn and Anakin Anakin blew up the cortosis mine on doesn't matter what the planet was, but it was in one of the Thrawn books. The one with Thrawn and Anakin. Maltivja or something like that. But anyway, long story short, that's what he has here. And it's the first time we've seen it. And the copper looking material, we hadn't even seen that. I didn't even really know what it looked like. You just knew it was called cortosis. In that book, they were making armor out of it, clone armor, to screw with people. But that's awesome to see. So now we have something else that the Jedi have to fear, right? Yeah. Because if he's got something and armor and everything else that he can short out his saber for a split second and take advantage of it. I mean,
and this is, that's what and then did. You can explain like how he bested 8 Jedi. Basically, he kept them separated. He never allowed them to fight a one-on-one. He was going from one to another. Even Yord said something to fact like this is unorthodox. We don't know how to we don't know how to combat this. And then using that cortosis helmet and gauntlet. Yeah. And the Jedi were like, what the hell? And then like disarming him and then impaling him and just like it was
there's no method to his movements. He doesn't fight by the rules of combat
engagement. Yeah.
I'm like, man, that guy was. But hey, to Yord's credit, he knew what the cortosis was. I dug that when he came back into the fold right after the other thing, the first thing he did was grab that helmet and go and swing it at him at the saber, so he shorted out to block. So that was pretty good too. He knew what was going on. That guy was pretty smart. So at the end there.
But he still got his neck snapped and tossed
before
away.
He had his coolest. That was his coolest scene too. Because that was unexpected. Cool ass move from Khmer.
But to add the toss, like you already snapped his neck, and then he went straight.
Dude,
he was
even when he killed Jackie, he even says, "Oh, it had a name." Like, is that what you call that thing?
It had a name.
Yeah, and that was that little. He shanked her. That was like a dagger at the end of the saber that he pulled out. So
it was
like double-bladed
sabers.
Sword.
He had 2 sabers, and then he turned it on and off.
Yeah. On and off.
He was just stabbing her real quick.
Oh, it was 2 sabers. I thought he pulled like a dagger out of the bottom.
Well, he did, but it was another saber.
He was dual wielding.
Yeah, and then turned it. He like power on, power off. He like boom, boom, boom.
Oh, and I thought it was. Just
he like jackhammered her, dude. That was jacked up. That was awesome.
Crazy.
You're not coming. Okay, I don't care who you are. You're not going to come back from 3 of them, right?
No. This isn't a flesh wound. This isn't a stomach wound.
We're not getting.
I don't care what species and how many hearts she has.
Yeah.
She's dead.
Yeah, he found it wherever it was.
Yeah.
So
Yes, Rhino. That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
it was American Me. He just didn't throw her over the railing.
And then he yelled Jackie, and it had a name. Like, is that what you call it? And I was like, man, that is great. Jackie I really liked her from day one on this whole series and everything, and the fighting style and the skill of her actress and everything. It was like,
that was really good.
Blown away. I was absolutely really blown away. You know, I had nothing really bad to say. And then, like I said, her death got me twice. Like, kind of like, oh man, I got because I saw Soul's face. I saw the impact of it and how badass she was. And she had that moment of levity, right? That moment of like, I got two sabers. And then, you know, and then that whole thing where Kamar would like disappear and then come back and like disappear and then fight other places. It was, I can't say enough about it without being like overly, you know, whatever. But this
was sounding goofy about it because it doesn't save the series for me. But no, this is an exciting episode. We should be excited.
But you know what?
We should be exactly like we are because we don't get to get this all the time.
We've all said what me and Scott were saying last week, that we were having to tell people, "I'm sorry, I'm waiting for it as a whole." Yeah, like to finish. So yeah, we had our first part, and then that's it.
Yeah,
Yoko made a great point. She had already called it out of saying it's always episode 5. Episode 5 in all of these Disney specials is always something.
Yeah, it's
like the best one is episode 5 in all of them, and it's true. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
It's almost like the mid-season premiere, right? It's that
correct.
So then here we go. They said this is the final act. So we've had the intro that we're in the third act. We're
third act, correct?
Now.
Yeah. So that's very cool, and I'm taking it as a whole, and this got exciting. Yeah, I mean, so it was the build up to get to this part, and is it him? Is it not? Yeah, it was. But that Clark Kent turnaround. This is the second best turnaround that I've ever seen. My favorite all the time is Sam Rockwell, Charlie's Angels. That's a great turnaround, and then this one now it's right up there too because he played the part when he removed that cloak, dude, in his arms and everything, and he threw it on there to blind her. That was dope too. That's like he was doing everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And then even about Jackie, right? He's all this. You should be taking pointers from this Padawan.
Yeah, the loyalty. The whole thing about loyalty.
Getting at me. He was so mad at me.
Yeah. Monkey, welcome to the podcast. So now, guys, we got to remind those are low grade Jedi. The red shirt Jedis, yes. As far as like the fodder, Jackie proved to be one of those things where the training, if she spent it all right there, it just wasn't enough. Yeah, but Soul is like the Soul Master Swordsman and come back.
Well, there was
that's
4
be the
Jedi
challenge.
and 4 Padawan.
Right. Yeah, there were 8 total. Right.
It was each Jedi had their Padawan with them.
Yeah, they were.
So that's what we had.
Yeah, of course he's going to cut them down like butter. I mean, these are not trained against this kind of arts and everything that's going on and take it by surprise. But at the same time, Soul's going to be the challenge for this dude. You know what I mean? But I thought Jackie really endured to a point, kind of gave him a little challenge, where he had to like retreat and do this whole.
Yeah, Yord got knocked off pretty quick. Jackie was the fight in the end.
She was the fight. Yeah, that was the challenge.
Yord, because of the studious. You're right. He did hit him with the helmet.
Yeah, smart.
He was very studious and doing everything in that sense. But his fighting style of not knowing what to do is what got the best of him.
And then it got to close combat and
correct. He killed him without a weapon. But him and Soul's close combat, amazing and awesome. What choreographed, and that was good too. So I'm with you, Mooch, as far as that's going to be his challenge. I was very upset when Osha did that. And I do think that he wanted to kill May, that he was in between there.
Oh, no. He was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he may turn Osha of taking her at the end.
I agree.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I think that's coming, dude.
I think so.
I think
he's going to tell her. She's already questioning it. When he's why do you say that? Why can't I trust you? What's going on? Now he's with her. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. How long do you think the hair is going to stay hidden on May?
No. It's Basil's going to rat her out like the meat, and I think we've
come to the conclusion of it's not going to be that. It's going to be the tattoo reveal because they did focus in on her tattoo. He's commented on the tattoo. Yeah, she's going to show that there is no tattoo. Remember Osha? Yeah, Osha.
They showed her tattoo at the end. They made it clear that she was sleeveless too.
Correct.
Yeah. I almost got a feeling that Soul kind of knew a little bit, and he was going to the ship to like.
I said that too.
Confront her, I mean, I might be just reading into it, but I kind of got
made
that
the point
feeling.
of why did he leave Osha? I had the same feeling too.
But no, he's not leaving her. But he's like luring May in there. Now he's going to confront her in the ship or whatever, right? Because Basil at the end had the pip droid and he was sniffing. He's going to say he's going to be like, "This ain't May or this ain't Osha." Or Soul knows, and that's going to be a confrontation.
Wasn't it only
planet? Like,
wasn't it only Yord who can understand Basil though?
Yep.
So Basil's going to sit there going, "Ah!"
Yeah, exactly. He's going to scream.
If they put Pip back together, but who has the bottom of Pip?
Because Pip is broken.
Pip, the bottom fell and he picked it up. I don't know who's got but
no, he picked the light up. He
right.
recovered the head.
Right.
Who's got the body? Osha or May right now? They switched clothes. So who knows what happened to Pip? The rest
I am with you though, Mooch. Yeah. I do feel that he gave the look as far as
come with me, because like it's almost like okay, let's play this out a little bit, and then like I said, I have this kind of thing like I don't think I don't think May's redeemable. I don't know. I don't think she's redeemable. I think she is going to die within this. Osha might survive and become the acolyte because when she's shown by Kamar, right? Like, hey, this is what really happened. In the whole clue breakdown kind of deal, and then she's going to realize that Soul and the Jedi that were there that murdered all the. It's gonna come to the point where it's like they had to murder these people. They had to murder all the witches because they were going nuts or something, or they were controlling Kel Naka to the point where I had to kill the mother to stop that, or something's going down.
You know what? I think it's gonna be that's the old Jedi way is to you see the witches bad and you had to get the kids. I think
the greater good. Yeah.
Like right, correct. And we're gonna be like, whoa, like you guys really are just going after the kids. It's
going down and like. So the question, okay, so we know where like the whole May and Osha split from the homeworld. We're going to get these two different versions of what happened in the witches and all that stuff. And we're going to know what these 4 Jedi actually did. Now where we're going to ask the question is what is Kamir's role in this? Did he show up just because of his acolyte, or did he have a hand in these 4 Jedi of his own personal reasons, or did stuff just kind of bottleneck into this point where he had to interfere?
It almost feels like he had a past different with Soul for a minute than just
like a
Kamir, the apothecary, right? At the apothecary. I think
that's what I thought, and everybody said that because he said, "You don't recognize me."
Yeah, I said something familiar. It's not just from meeting you once.
Correct.
That's right. Yeah, I said
the same thing, but everybody was trying to tell me no, that's what it was, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's
on the surface. That's what it means, right? On the surface, because they did meet before.
Correct.
But Soul's like, there's something familiar. Oh. And also with going back to that helmet thing, it's almost like Magneto's helmet. You can't read my thoughts, right?
Oh, and he
said that too.
No.
Yes, it was. He said it. He told him that. He said, I needed my helmet so you can't get into my thoughts. And I was like,
he's all reveal yourself. He's all no.
So he knows something else about Soul that we didn't know, right? Because he's been maskless in front of Soul before, and he's never gone in his mind.
And he's been on that planet to hunt Kel Naka, know where he's at to bring May to him. Like he knows more about this. What's going down? Not Mysterio.
I said the same thing, Moocher, but I kept saying Mysterio all night.
Oh, is that what
everybody was like? So everybody was like, Ernie, what do you mean Mysterio? Yeah. And I'm like, he can't read his thoughts, like Xavier and Mysterio. And everybody was like, oh, what? And I'm like, oh, wait a second.
That's all right. I called Soundwave Starscream one day, and
now we fled his office with Starscreams as his favorite.
Nonsense.
But so that helmet, that Corsus helped that too. It's a highly conductive, but also maybe it interferes in Force abilities too, in a way like it distracts, right? Because Soul did say something like, I sense familiar, that you're familiar to me.
Yes.
Now, is that there because of their first meeting, or is it because Kamar had dealings? But his face, I mean, when he revealed himself, nothing was shocking about you. Like he didn't call him by, hey, that's Dan. You know what I mean? Like,
how about
you're a janitor on the
little Bobby? Little Bobby.
How does he know?
Who? What?
Kamir. How does the stranger know anything?
That's right.
How does he know what happened with the witches?
Right. So he has May, and he got May's version of it. Either he read her mind, or he was there.
Right.
That's the whole time. That's what I'm saying. Like there's something.
So the witches answer to somebody.
either that or the survivors went to him for revenge.
So,
and
there was that. I did have a couple things with the episode, and it's funny. Crystal had said that. Crystal said earlier, "I want the twins to merge, like the ending of Darth Crystal." What's up? Too. I did. I thought when they hugged and embraced, I thought it was going to be like station, and they were going to turn into one, and they were going to reveal like if it was a force projection or something.
Right.
I really did. I did, because in that speech, and we got the chanting back of the witches. She said, "Don't you remember who we are? We're the witches." Well, we know the witches of Dathomir, and then we got introduced to those mountain witches. They had a name though too, so I thought she was going to give them a name, and she didn't. Do you get what I'm saying? So what if she said, "We're the witches of Pelagus"? Like,
that would be awesome.
For real. It's like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's not where I was. I was thinking this was 16 years before. Khmer is not that old. He would have been 10 years old, I'd call it. Right? Let's just say that. I think they're all mid-20s. Okay. Maybe Khmer's a little older, but that's where I'm putting them all. If he's a kid back then, he could have been somebody else's Padawan at the moment. He could have been there, and they could have assumed him dead in the fire. Yeah. Something like that. And then that's kind of,
didn't the girl say they were the only kids there?
Son too. What's that? No, yeah, but if Khmer went with them, if he was with Soul and the other three.
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean
that's why he knows
he was with them.
That's why he knows them all. That's why he knows all four of them, about them, because he knew about Corbin. He's not the stone blah blah blah. He knows all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying he was a Padawan on the ship?
Yeah, somehow, somewhere in life, they've met as him as a Jedi before.
Gotcha. So it wasn't just the 4 Jedi that was.
But I think he would have been on the ship with them. He'd have been there, and like I said, assumed he could have went with them, assumed dead, and that's why they're all messed up. Maybe that would explain why Corbin was so messed up. Right, because he thought he lost his Padawan. Maybe that's his Padawan, or he was somebody else's Padawan.
He was. He was. What's her name's Padawan?
Was he
Carrie Ann Moss's? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But then Kelnaka's. Yeah. Anything. He could have been somebody else's Padawan.
What if he was Soul's Padawan and got dropped for Osha or given away?
Oh,
maybe. Or okay. I'm selling cool. Sorry. He's really wanted to. He killed himself. Right. Yeah. When he was under control, at some point, we know they're going to fight. What if he thinks he kills the kid? And that's the stranger now.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of far. I'm rewriting a story here.
I'm trying to figure out
because he knows something.
Yeah, because
I feel the same way. Yeah.
Well, on the surface, like you can. Okay, so there's like 2 different directions you go. Again, why we're questioning it, why we're trying to theory craft is because they seems to have a bigger agenda here than just helping May out with her mission, because.
Yeah.
He might have more acolytes, and he's just like, you guys go do your trials, and the one who comes to me with the accomplishment.
No, he's pretty much, I want an acolyte, and he's like, that's her.
Right. But so again, so that there's more people because he said he collects people, but does May just take his word for it, and that's what I mean, like kind of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, so on the surface, it could be where the surviving, if there might have been a surviving, because we only saw the mother, their actual mother, die with the body. I don't think we saw the other one that carried her. I don't think we saw her the body yet. So like she could have maybe approached Plagueis in this whole situation, and Plagueis sent his apprentice out. Again, really spitballing this bigger kind of world that we want to connect. You know what I mean? On the surface, and then he's as an acolyte, then he knows everything, but he knows too much. It's like too much involvement. To just be like, and he left almost like everything was breadcrumbs for me. Here's Kelnaki's in that forest. Here's the poison. Go kill him. It's like, what did May really do besides Indara, right? Like
he really stressed the point of killing the Jedi without a weapon. You haven't done that yet,
right?
That's what she had to do with Kelnaka.
Yeah,
is kill him without a weapon. He was really stressing that. So to see all his hand-to-hand combat and everything. This was the test, I guess. Like,
well, and that's the whole thing about like when the Emperor told Vader, you need a lightsaber, go get one. You can't make one yourself. Go get one from a Jedi, and you have to kill the Jedi without a weapon, basically, and then bleed the crystal. So it's a very Sith thing to do. Your trial, and again, remember, the Sith have to be so dangerous, so powerful that you cannot let them take power because they kill Wookiee Jedis without a lightsaber, without a weapon. This is how powerful the dark side is, and that they're like that's why you sent 8 Jedi to go kill one Sith. You know what I mean? Like it has to be
And
that
failed.
stress and failed. It has to be stressed that a Sith, even one, is so dangerous to confront. You know what I mean? Obviously, because we've seen what happens with 2 of them. But so on the surface, it could be just like May. He seeked out an acolyte, and now this is her trials, and he's helping her. But on the deeper subject of it, could be like there's more involvement with it, and it can, like I said, the next 3 episodes can really open that up. What is Kamar's role in all this? What does he seem to have revenge on these 4 too? Like, as he's taking it a personal thing, not just for his acolyte, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We want to put that question out there. Yeah.
I think there's something there for sure. You know what else is interesting? When she was getting arrested, when Jackie was arresting May, and she was telling her what she was arrested for. First of all, cool scene there too. I liked it, flipping
very
around
cool.
and all that stuff. She said for the killing of Master Indara, which she was guilty of, right? The Master of Corbin, which she didn't do it. He did it.
They just they were there at that time, and then
but I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking her and redemption.
Right.
She put it there. He didn't.
Right.
He healed himself.
Right.
She didn't kill Kelnaka. I don't think she actually lit. I know she didn't light the fire. She lit the book.
She lit the book.
The thing that exploded, the power of the generator, that's what started the fire. Soul did that. That was Soul. So, I mean, she's not really guilty of anything but Indara. And honestly, I think it's weird that Indara is dead. I'm not sure that's over yet. With a knife. We're blading people here.
Knife in the heart, though, to be fair. I mean, it was.
We assume where's the heart?
Yeah. This is why we kind of cringe at any kind of wound that they
it's a lame death for a Jedi. Honestly, you go back, right? At first it was shocked because I'm like, oh, they killed Carrie-Anne Moss's character that fast, right? Yeah. But really, the blade's this thick. And I'll kill somebody. But we're talking about we're usually using light beams.
Right.
It's weird.
So
maybe she's not.
You saw the healing part, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At the end, yeah.
And then he squeezed it and then rolled it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. The dude's
Trust everybody in the pit. I am reading your. It's like so many people jumped in. I want to get to you guys.
See there you go. How see it right there. Indara. I don't think it was a wild death there.
Yeah, Indara isn't dead. It could be. Yeah, I mean.
Go ahead and pit it for a minute. Go ahead, because I'm sure there was a bunch of good stuff going on.
There was one. I kind of work backwards a little bit to let's see here. Now I lost everything. So left coast graphics, welcome. What if Sith Zipperhead is Plagueis but can alter his appearance? I thought about that too. Like I did think about this. Like and I was discussing it with somebody. I said, in Legends, Plagueis is a Mun, and he's a specific alien creature. That's why I think that he's working for him. That they've revealed we will get a Mun at the end. I am convinced, and again, this could be this is probably I'm on my own hill on this or whatever, but I am convinced that besides the Coyote stuff, the attention to detail is there. Okay, and I do believe that there might be still a purpose for that too, the Coyote stuff. I might be. I don't know, and I could be totally wrong, and it could have been a huge mistake. And but
it's not because of the Sith stuff. It's not 100%. It's not that. It was just the fact that it was changed.
Right. And again, it could have been a fan service that just really they didn't think it. Somebody missed the boat there, on all levels. But if Plagueis,
does it really mean that much? So the dude's older than what we thought.
No. The point last week, Ernie, is it's not the fact that they even changed it. It's the fact that they can. It's about that if they start just changing everything.
If they start messing up now,
all of a sudden everything is gone.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a slippery stuff. Especially on a situation where you had other options.
True. Yeah, because I said
it was another Keldor in the episode that wasn't Plo Koon.
When that other Plo Koon died, I was like, oh, that wasn't Plo Koon.
Yeah. Well, they said it last week that it wasn't. I'm like, well, that's dumb. No, you should have just switched them.
But I was like, I really thought there was going to be another reveal there. I'm like, come on, that has to be.
And
then and it really did that awful scream. And I was like, oh, okay, not Plo Koon.
But I just don't think anybody's ever going to get to that point. And Coyote Money is never going to hear a damn thing about the Sith. There's going to be some accident he thinks happened on a planet where an explosion happened and all these guys died.
I do want to point out also, in episode 1, the whole dialogue about Qui-Gon says, I think a Sith attacked me. And they were like, now, let's not be hasty kind of attitude. They've been extinct for a millennia. They're not, and then
my God, here he goes again with his stories.
Yeah, like, and not until he died, they figured it out. Yeah, hey, guess what? That was a Sith, dude.
He was right.
So Gordon, he said, is there any any significance to the orange powder ever? I think it's just surface, the planet, just being an alien planet,
kind of like
myself
being red.
Yeah. Like that's I
mean, there was a lot of it, but they kept falling in it.
I always thought, like, is it poison? Is it something? Because they kept like purposely falling in it.
But since they're all in it,
I think it was just an aesthetic thing.
Yeah. And it made it a cool look, like I said, with that blowback looked awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was really good. Before we get into like May and OSHA,
and we'll hit Rhino real quick at the end here.
The last
Rhino,
one? Okay.
Yeah, Rhino Hobbies. I'm thinking it's the first Ren because the Knights were Acolytes. He has the look, right? I mean, we're there to be a Knight of Ren at this point. So
but also
he doesn't even have to be Sith. The way he even said, I think he's a Sith, right? But they left it room to where if they changed it out and just made him a Knight of Ren instead of a Sith, it would fit.
Yeah, just remember the Ren is the mantle of who holds the saber. The saber is whoever holds that is the master or the Knight of Ren or the master of Ren. So
we can see the beginnings of it.
Sure. I mean,
and then he's got all the Ren.
And there was a very good point of the music when they introduced the episode opened up with Kylo Ren's theme. It was there. It's not one for one, but they used it in a way where it was like, that's Kylo Ren's theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's super similar. Everything's similar, right? The helmet is
very similar. Like it's yeah.
He looks it. You could have put that character in with the other guys.
Yeah.
In when you just barely seen him in the other movies, and they would have fit in just fine.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because of all their different looks that they had. I mean, we know, right, Chris? We had to go after the pops.
Yeah.
So
no one watches. No one watches Artie. The guy who plays Kamir stated that he's Sith. Yeah, I mean, again, he said
I'm sure
you would call me Sith, and that's what I said. I think it's almost like, in a way, perfect that he's revealed now. You know what? Like, even going back to the whole reveal, even Soul questioned, "Why are you revealing yourself here? Like, what was your purpose today?"
Why are you? Because I'm gonna kill you all.
Yeah, because he goes, "You saw me. You I didn't hide it. Yeah, I had a mask. Yeah, I did have a mask." And that's what, like, you get goosebumps, right?
Because the writing in this one and the delivery and the acting was great.
Yeah, because again, I don't think anybody's getting off the planet, and I think this is where you get Vernestra coming to be like, all right, it's been a while. We haven't heard from anybody on this planet. She's going to go down there and see what's up, and I think she's getting killed.
I would rather have you explain it that way than have to see her on screen.
Yeah, I get it, but there's still footage. There's still footage that's not accounted for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're never leaving this planet, is what you're thinking. These Jedi are never leaving this planet. We're going to see other planets, but they're coming to them.
So I think, because Vernestra said, go do this and get Kel Naka back, right? She's not going to take it to the council. She's taking it by herself. Everybody's dead except for Soul at this point. It doesn't matter if OSHA and May leave or whatever happens like that, but I think Vernestra is going to be like, all right, nobody's checking in. I'm going to go check this out myself. That's where she gets there. And that's where we might get the Plagueis reveal about, like, she uncovers the whole thing, but then guess what happens? And then we get our moment,
And she never gets back either. And then they're all gone.
She either kills Darth Smiley and then Plagueis kills her. I'm just throwing that out there, right?
If they let that actress kill that actor, I'm gonna be so mad. I don't even care about the characters anymore, just the skill and the acting. I'll be so mad. Oh, garbage.
But let's see.
I can never tie. I want him to be in charge of every season.
I did. I want
to find out he's Snoke.
Oh my god! Snoke's been there the whole time. Yeah.
Shut up! Oh god!
I don't even have it.
If he says Snoke, oh my god!
Jesus!
Yeah, there is a scene with long hair Soul flying a ship as well in a space fight. Yeah, this could be where it gets to that race to tell. I'm gonna tell on you, not until I get to you first. It could be something like that. This is a good point here too. And this is where I was just kind of trying to explain. So Gordon's saying, like, with so many deaths, how will they keep this from the Jedi Council? That and it's 100%. So
make it look like an accident.
Well, all these
Starship
Jedi went
accident.
there. And like, yeah, all these Jedi went there and they didn't all come back. So like, no, they just go, oh well, okay, let's just go to dinner. Let's just do our thing. Vernestra, I think, is the key here. So something's gonna. I don't think she's covering it up. I think she's dying with the knowledge. She's gonna Fives this thing. And when I say Fives this thing, Fives and the clone knew about Order 66, and he died before he can tell anybody. So I think that's where it's going to be, this race to the Jedi, Coruscant or whatever. Because I don't think Kamar is going to want this out. Not now. But if that scene still it has to play out, then yeah, that's what's making me nervous, guys. And I'm going to tell you that too. It's that is the plot that's making me nervous, is the fact that this will get out. And then because that destroys a lot of things that we just said here.
Yeah.
It destroys a lot of things going on into the prequels about the Sith returning.
That's
why this all has to be Rogue One, man. This all has to, and then some sort of story or mystery. The mystery.
And remember, and I'm okay with it getting back to Yoda. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I am, because I just can't be Coyote Monday. But because when Coyote Monday says it, they cut to the other leaders and the other masters, and they're like, they're side-eyeing each other.
They did, yeah.
Right? It's not like they're just like, oh, he's right.
That's why I think there's still maybe a role to play on that Coyote Monday thing. I'm not throwing it in with a mistake just yet until episode 8, and with like, if they never addressed it, then I'd be like, all right, yeah, maybe that was a mistake. That's what I'm good for. I'm good at doing that. Like, I will wait and see, and then, yeah. So Basil G, Vern will be there with the whip saber. And I think this is what Gordon was just bringing up
about the whip saber.
Yeah, I think she is going there to find out why no one has been checked in, and then she's going to uncover this. So everybody's
called
dead.
You 10 times.
Yeah.
Nobody's answering their communicator.
You're not picking up your phone. You're not answering text.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
I had your location on. Didn't think I'd find you in the forest, did you?
I got you on. Use Galaxy 360, bitch.
Echo Base Network, thank you for checking in. This is a good chat. You guys have a good night sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We try not to go scene by scene. We try to theory craft it all in and really get the gist of a story. And then we have 18 theories that go left field, right
simultaneously.
Field. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and that's what I love about shows like this that do that. Yes, there's a lot of controversy out there, and there's a lot of backlash and everything. But at the same time, like from the first episode, this has been a questionable. Every scene has been like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. Even with Kamar's reveal. Chris called it the very first. That's the Sith Lord. That's the Master. And then we're like, yeah, that's right. And then the show just kind of almost like took it and ran with it. And then when it was a reveal, I was like, yeah, of course, And
then every week it got worse. It was like, oh man, there's no way he's not. There's no way. It's obvious now.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and so that's why I'm like, okay, that was too easy. So maybe there's got to be this next step of it, and that because it's not just because it has to, it's because it's cool that way. It'll be amazing if he was the apprentice to an actual Sith master Plagueis at this point.
As long as there are hints for it, because I like the fact that they were leaving breadcrumbs, and maybe they were a little obvious, but it didn't have to go that way either.
Right?
We could have got something totally different.
Oh, we had it. Yeah, we had a whole
right. But since we got it, it was neat to see it laid out. Yep. And then when the whole thing
and the reveal was still awesome.
It was perfect. I knew who it was going to be, and it was more like a yes,
because it was right after Jecki, and then the helmet. I was like,
I can't think of a time when you see a bad guy reveal where you're like, hell yeah. Right? You're like, usually. I was like, yes, that should be who it is. It's perfect. It makes sense. And I like that. I didn't have to be a surprise. It was just a neat progression of the story. I like it.
Yeah, 100%, man. Echo Base, our live stream was blocked. You guys are doing this best way. Keep rolling. Oh, I'm sorry that was blocked. That's like the second person who said that streams are being blocked for talking about a show. I don't know who was doing it, or if they're being, I don't know. But yeah, that's weird. So Hal Runner Base. I'm baffled that the Jedi hadn't heard from Kilnock in over a year, and nobody was sent to check on him. Well, they did mention it a little bit, how he kind of went into isolation, and it was like no one's heard from him. Yeah, they just kind of let it go, right?
Yeah, because he wasn't on a. If he was on a vow, if he was on the bearish vow,
Right, he just
then it would
was-
have made sense. But he didn't say. They didn't say that.
He's all leave me alone because somebody translated the Shriwik language on his door and it said keep out. Like he was
nice.
Yeah, someone was really. I mean, he really
I didn't
wanted.
know you could translate Shriwook.
I'm
not a Star Wars fan, Chris. Wow.
Obviously, we can do Huttese, Mandalorian.
Wow.
You're
Ancient
right.
Sith,
You know what? As I
Arabesh,
just said that,
and
I'm
I
like,
did not know we had a Shriwook codex. I'm in. Let's go.
there's obviously symbols that represent the growls and howls.
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting to come back to Basil. Just and everybody's like, "What is wrong, man?"
Yeah,
just giving him that.
Somebody asked about I was up there. It's like, did Soul know that Kanaka was dead? I don't know, but Jackie found the lightsaber and she saw him because they were inside the cut.
That was my other bad point of this.
Yeah.
They fought. Her and May fought. She kicked her through the door, then goes down to put the cuffs and says, "You're under arrest for Trinity, for weird silent dude," and then she said Kalneka.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Right.
You just kicked her through the door. No, she
What?
kicked her through the door. That was in his house. She was being arrested.
Yeah, so he was
because
in there though.
But they didn't know
Right.
that. They stood
they were
outside
fighting.
saying, "Hey, you come
Yeah, they did.
outside."
Right.
May Alisea come outside.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So they already assumed Kalneka was dead.
So you think it was just an assumption?
Had to be. But he never
when
came
Jackie-
out. She came out and he didn't.
Right. Well, when Jackie was arresting May, they were inside the hut, so that's where Kanaka was, right? But
That
the
was
others
his
don't
house.
know. The others don't know.
See,
So,
that's
yeah,
what I'm saying. I
Soul-
don't know. It
yeah.
was just really
That
weird.
was squirrely, but
She kicked her, bust the door, puts the cuffs on her, and says everything. Like I would have went for it if she looked up. If she looked up and saw him like in the chair, like and the death of Kalnaka, like that. You get what I'm saying? Like that.
Well,
That would have
almost like
better.
I almost kind of just made an assumption because they were inside the hut where the body was right there.
Yeah.
And had the saber. So
I caught it, and oddly enough, I think I just said F it. I think I'm to the point with this show sometimes where I'm just like, I'm just not gonna. I'm whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna have to not nitpick it, or I'm just gonna be mad.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying,
yeah.
that
You're
was
right.
my other
You're
second point.
totally right. Yeah.
Was that? And just because I'm one of those that watch that, like when you have a necklace on and then it's gone, and then
continuity. Yeah.
So that was my only thing was you just kicked her through the door, and saying that she killed him.
Well, I mean, like I said, but I'm saying like.
But Jedi are generally no reaction to anything, right? There's like there's a dead guy right there. You're guilty.
Gordon.
Okay, I got a nitpick then, real quick. What's up?
I'm just saying he was a little upset that Soul just left his dead apprentice body behind.
Yeah, they are gnarly about all.
They have no time.
Right? They don't give a damn.
Go ahead.
This whole moth light business, right? It's like they attack. You had 5 or 6 of them attack immediately when she put the light on, right?
Right.
The lightsabers are all on.
Yeah.
Already. Yord had his lightsaber on for a good minute inside in there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
why wasn't this why were they coming down attacking the whole
time? They were getting
and,
irritated as the night progressed.
And bro, just force flick it off of you. Right? I mean, you just blasted 8 Jedi.
It was just,
Boosh, and you can float.
Yeah.
Right?
Look,
so
if you
I get it, it's a story. I get it. They needed to get him away without killing him. They needed these 2 alive. I find a different way because the moss bugged me last week already. And
they just missed the opportunity of him being carried away and him going, no.
Yeah.
I did by flying monkeys, man.
But I did was like in my I'm like, that's not how it's that's not how it works. Or like, don't do that. That was stupid in the point. But again, like you just said, it was a plot point just to get them isolated and away from each other. And
they needed him put a mile down the street. Then that was it.
Yeah. So
far enough to not hurt them, far enough to get back to OSHA.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then take her on. I love it.
So do you guys think that his goal was OSHA the whole time? Maybe.
I think he's tired of May, and
he
has another option now.
He has another option, right? Do you So
because he was really adamant about passionate about wanting an acolyte.
Yeah.
I want an acolyte, and I'm not allowed to train. So I mean, I think he's cool. That one sucked. This is the other one.
Yeah. So obviously, when the sisters are together, they're powerful. Something happens. Osha, we have not seen her do anything other than sense something. I sense the bug or whatever.
Right. Well,
but
you can almost feel something again.
Yeah,
she's always been crap about.
She's an exterminator at this point.
They even made it a they even made it a point that May force pushed her and said you never could block. Like so at that end. But again, there's that But it's been told us too by the mothers and stuff like you're more powerful than you think. Or go ahead, Ernie. What's up?
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, you just brought up my other thought that I forgot to ask too. Then what was the wound that he closed up? She just force pushed her.
Yeah, I don't.
So where did the wound come from?
Edited. It was edited. Yeah, because she had a leg wound or a stomach wound.
No, it was on her stomach. I don't know. Did she get shot? Did she?
I don't
stab. And nobody had a gun.
I bet there was something they cut out in post.
Yeah, she fell out. Yeah.
My only thought was, did she force push her into something like a branch?
That's what I was.
Got stabbed
she
or
fell
something,
off the cliff, right? So
must have.
Something. Yeah, that was it. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah. No, I didn't see
it was this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
So this is where I'm trying to get at this point here, like the power of two.
Okay.
Okay, so when they embrace whatever and Osha fought back and then May, whatever. So May understands, so it's probably she feels this power around Osha. Osha's either hiding it, buried it, or hasn't discovered her powers yet. The whole thing about now it's bringing Plagueis in this whole thing. Plagueis obviously was on the quest for eternal life. Rise of Skywalker showed us that a dyad in the Force could be used to use that, to re-heal, to be reborn or whatever. They're obviously a dyad in the Force. Okay, when they're together, they become more powerful or more whatever it is. So Kumar going to Osha at the end there, it's almost like a very Sithy thing to do, right? Well, screw May, I got this one. And this one right here, I sense more power than May can possibly handle, because May shows her power on her sleeve. Osha hasn't yet to show us anything. Yeah. She was a Jedi for a little bit. She walked away, so maybe there's a little bit more to that too.
He took that one when she was already crazy. He's getting this one when he gets to make her crazy.
Yeah.
He gets to set her off.
Yes.
And it's a difference, right? You're taking a psycho on who, honestly, the psycho is loyal.
Yeah.
And right? what if that's the reveal? Is he shows her the truth? Does
I think that's what's happening. I think he's going to show Osha what really went down.
The flashback.
Yeah. Okay. But it's also going to be May's memory or something, because again, unless he was there on the planet,
So they're telling the story simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
So May's getting this story, or Osha's getting the story from him. At the same time, May's getting it because Sol is about to spill his guts at the ship. He told her that when we get to the ship safely, I'm going to tell you everything.
Yes.
He's going to tell her, and something's going to affect May to turn her.
I see.
To make Sol, she's thinking something horrible. He's going to explain.
So the roles are really going to flip.
Really, truly going to reverse,
and that's
nobody's
cool.
Playing, yeah,
that's cool with me. This goes Barry's or on top of Chris's theory earlier. Kumar, I think, plays a part in their creation, and is older than he looks. He has learned secrets of eternal life from the witches.
That would work good too.
Or he's Plagueis' apprentice, and they all have this end goal right now, right? I'm just because I really want to. I want the Mun to really reveal himself as something, because that makes a lot of people happy.
I really feel,
you know what I'm saying?
We're getting worked up here like we used.
We are, but again, that would make a lot of people happy. I'm just going out there.
I know, man. But here's the thing. She did say that she couldn't use Yoda. That it ended up Bane being off limits, Darth Bane and stuff. I mean, what do you think was? Would Plagueis be off limits for any reason? I wouldn't have thought Bane would have been, but he will. Obviously, they're going to do something with him.
I mean, Plagueis was mentioned in the quote in our line all the time. Have you ever heard the story?
No, he's totally canon. He's totally canon, but maybe they just don't want to use him.
And then Bane was through Yoda, right?
Yeah, he saw the holocron
through it. Yes, right. Yeah, that was our Bane
one.
So I don't know. That's a great question of why.
Well, because Leslie Headland was told no on Yoda. Like, you cannot use Yoda.
Yoda's out. Bane is out.
Yeah.
Because she was going to use him in a holocron.
Right. So that makes it hard.
By the way,
you can go with Plagueis.
By the way, get ready for something there, right? That didn't hit me. She was going to use Bane in a holocron. That means we're going to see Holocron soon.
No, it was already told a long time ago that we're going to get Sith lore stuff. Again, 3 episodes left, and we are going to get Sith lore stuff. That's why I am putting money down on this Plagueis connection. And yes, it's major fan service. It makes so much sense, though. That's the thing about it. It makes sense. It makes too much sense to use him in this direction. Like, again, I think Kumar, as awesome as he is, I think he's almost like that Darth Maul on steroids kind of deal, where very skilled, but also is very privy to the plan, the ultimate plan, but he's not the master of that plan. I think the master of that plan is more cunning and wouldn't let himself be known like this. Like, I don't think a true Sith master that's trying to build this whole thing in the shadows is going to make himself known at 8 Jedi on stuff, and there was that chance of their spoiling basically because what would the Jedi's real reaction have been of like, oh crap, the Sith really returned? So I feel, like I said, I feel that Kumar is going through this and he's going to get reprimanded at the end. Like I said, I think there's going to be something where Plagueis turns around, kills him, or whatever, or does something, but reveals like this as a bigger thing going on than just this. This is a small incident in this grand scheme of things. Because remember, the Sith regrouped, and going by the Legends of Plagueis book, it was that regrouping that inevitably conquered the galaxy. We're going to go for political. We're not going for arm, muscle against muscle. We're going to go smart. We're going to go, that's where Palpatine came in, right? Yeah. You're smarter than this. We're going to go infiltrate, and having those kind of like ideas about this Sith, because again, Sith haven't been extinct, just haven't been known. They've been there,
right? They've been there the whole time.
Yeah, and I feel, like I said, I'm speaking for myself. I do feel that the Leslie Headland really is smart about this and would put that in. Like, I don't think she would not put Plagueis in unless she was told not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because you know what? I've been different episodes. I've said different things about her, right? Because I did say that the first 3 episodes where I did trust a lot, that I'm like, oh, she's paying attention. I guess
I still think she is. I really do, because it's not over yet. You know what I mean? Like,
the Cortosis helps. I mean, that there's some deep cut right there. Yeah. I mean, not that deep. It's in both canon and Legends, but still, that's pretty good use of it. That's pretty.
But she knows. Yeah, like, I know she didn't direct this episode, but she had. I mean, this is her thing. She wrote it.
It's her story. It's her story.
Exactly, and everything. Like I said, the dialogue, the reactions between Kumar and Sol and Jackie, everything was spot on. And then going back and thinking about the series as a whole, I still think it's spot on. And I feel
the directors do make a difference. They
100%.
We've seen that in The Mandalorian a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Right. And
100%, dude. 100%. Yeah. Again, I'm speaking for myself about that. Like I said, I know there's been comments in there about bad writing, bad this, but I just don't see it yet. There might have been bad dialogue and bad some sort of, like I said, the kids really didn't sell it. You know what I mean? Sometimes Ocean Maeve really don't sell it, but I don't know if it's writing yet. You know what I mean?
I think it might have been more directing than writing. But it depends. When we see the end of it, the whole deal, and the see, because I was defending it up until the Coyote Monday thing, right?
Yeah.
And I still think there's a lot to be seen. We have to see the other point of view. We've got to see all this go back and forth, and if there's a reveal at the end, another one.
Yeah.
I mean, this one could have turned it around. This episode helps me.
It's on a. Yeah, you're right. It does help. Like I said, like I even told you guys before, it's like, as awesome as this is on the surface, right? That second watch to me and a third watch is more important, because now the emotions. Now it's like, all right, what is it really saying to me?
I've got 4 in, and it's still awesome.
It's still awesome, dude. Like I said, I started really paying attention more. Like I said, the decapitations I didn't catch until the second one. Those are the things that I'm like, oh my god, like how can that's awesome. And I know that's a difference between Star Wars lore and action, right? I know that, but I'm really putting that into where I really feel at the end of this thing we're gonna get what we want out of this. I just don't think that there's no reason not to. It really isn't a reason not to, to put that stuff in there. Now, would we be mad if Kumar is Darth Plagueis? Oh, I don't know. We could probably talk our ways out of it, but the internet would blow up. They would absolutely blow up, because there's source material, right?
Yeah. And here, I'd be hypocritical to say it wouldn't be an issue, but I'm sitting here.
It'll
saying
be
it
an
wouldn't
issue,
be,
dude.
'cause I like. Oh
bothered.
no, it's with me. I'm trying to think. Just me personal, right?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
The internet's gonna break about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how I'd be, because the Coyote Monday hit me hard early and fast. Right?
You were really
still
pissed last week.
I have
Yeah,
a transcript.
but again,
here.
it wasn't. It was the fact that they could change anything.
Yeah.
But does the changing the species of Plagueis bother me? As long as the Plagueis story is legit, right?
Have you heard the story of
the thing with
Plagueis
Coyote
alive?
Monday is that the story with Coyote Monday is people live a short time. So he was the only Jedi that was allowed to have wives and kids and everything else, right? So that's all gone, right? Because his species does not.
He's over 100 some years old now. Yeah. It's like,
right. His 65 or 8 or whatever the hell, 69, whatever he was old for a Syrian.
Yeah.
You know,
what
so
if
that changes that with Plagueis?
That's just
all that changes. Oh, could be. Yeah, but then it could be because they're let out
his
kids.
dad. Yeah.
Shit.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
We were talking about Plagueis changing it. It's a really impact.
If you don't know, I'm an old pothead. So when you take me off my track, I don't know what's happening. No,
I've been wanting to say that because I'm a second. So it does go to that.
Yeah.
Ernesto said, me or my dad. Which,
yeah.
It's an easy fix, right? They just said it because all I have to do is fix it in the credits.
Yeah,
right. That's
no, but I'm over. Like I said, I'm trying to get over it. F it. As long as at this point they don't break canon with it.
You were saying that made you upset. So if his
it did, but as long as they don't break canon where he sees Sith, where they all get it back to the council, unless it's somebody that I know has in the council has a side eye that I can play back in my head. And I know George didn't mean it. We do that all the time, right? I will go back to the Jedi Council scene, see that scene, and be like, all right, I can make it match. We're golden.
Right.
You screw with Coyote Monday sees a Sith or knows about a Sith, then it's all left. Then I'm mad. Right now, I think I'm cool with everything. I'm cool with the story, because when you look back at it and you take away the directing and some of the acting and some of the dialogue, which sometimes you just have to do, right? Episode 2 is a good example. I love episode 2.
100%, dude. Yeah.
Because I take away a lot of that shit. So if I can do that here and you look at the story of witches creating life in the Force, I dig that. It's not the same as when Plagueis did it. And did it randomly and sent it out. It's different, right? These guys did it intentionally. They put it here, there, and especially if Kamir's helping with something, because he's an alchemist, right? There's something in here where it makes sense, right? Yeah. And that I can make that happen. This is more science than magic, almost,
right?
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with sisters, obviously, because, and like I said, I don't care that they're lesbian. It doesn't bother me because there's only witches there. Who else are they going to bang?
Yeah,
it doesn't bother.
But also, right? Leslie had a great response to that too. Like, she just said it's a matriarchal society, and not saying that she said, I know there's no indication or no one said it. It's just that's their society, and I'm just saying that's what she said. She goes,
"Let's stop with the mothers," and they said the mothers up in the front. I'm not.
She did.
She can't take it away. She can do whatever.
No, that
doesn't bother me. What I'm saying is, I'm fine. Right. I'm just saying, stop arguing about all that stuff. That's not a problem with the story. The story's fine there.
Yeah.
I'm the fire. I'm not mad about the fire anymore because I'm telling myself that it's not the book that set the place of flame. It's the explosion.
Oh yeah,
it's going through pipes. As long as that's what happened, and we see that next week or whenever, then I'm totally cool. If it's the fire, if she lit that book on fire and it started that whole.
If that's
flame,
it,
that's dumb.
Yeah,
is what that is, right? Yeah. So we should all figure out that wasn't it. But I'm cool with
that.
So
to bring you back full circle, would you be cool if Plagueis is a different species?
Yes, I think I am. I think I would be. I think if it's Kamir. If I find out his name is Plagueis,
right?
You know, and
him as a character,
cool. I'd have to have somebody pretty cool because I'm digging this dude right now. So I just
I am too. Yeah.
You know?
No one watches already as Plagueis species canon. No, it is not canon.
That's what we're saying. It's like it's that fine line. Like I'm angry about the coyote thing because it changes story and his species.
Right.
But does the species matter if he's a mun or not? Right. Does it? He could be anything.
No, but like I said, there's really no point to changing it, like because the collective knows about the book, and that, like, to me, that is almost like, even if I was trying to insert my own agenda into Star Wars, that's something I wouldn't even try to mess with. Like, I wouldn't just go like Plagueis and make him an Ewok. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much of like why.
Yeah, because they use the Thrawn stuff, right? It's completely different than it used to be in Legends, right? But they do use enough familiarity. Yeah, like Rook is the same, you know, and all this. You have familiar characters around him that haven't been changed a lot. They did put them in different places in his life, I suppose, but they
Yeah.
never changed like a species. So
Right. Like I said, I don't know what the point would be, because this whole time they just
yeah, it's because if you showed a moon right there, or if he was walking around as a moon, you'd know who he was.
Exactly. And again, as awesome as I love Chimera and I love whoever this Darth is,
yeah,
I do think that there's enough room in that Sith lore that Plagueis and then him. He was his first apprentice before he got Palpatine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like the idea that he's older than he looks. I was on he's mid-20s or whatever,
Yeah.
because he's a Padawan or whatever. I'm cool with that idea. But I like the idea that this guy's like 100 years old, maybe.
Yeah,
right.
Could be.
Yeah.
What's up, Ern?
Do we know Palpatine's age? Is that canon?
Canon.
Okay.
I don't know about canon, but he's just a typical human. So,
okay, I didn't know. So my other one,
he wouldn't be born. He's not alive now. He's not alive now. He's like Coyote Money's age. I think he is. I think he is. I think he's around 60 some years old in the Phantom Menace.
He was born 84 years before Battle of Yavin.
So close to Coyote Money, close.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember the Plagueis book. He was just a normal human aged, right?
Person.
80 average of 80 year, lifespan kind of deal. He wasn't anything special. So he's not born yet. But again, Chimera could have been Plagueis' first apprentice or second. Before again, this event could have been set in motion. Plagueis looking for another apprentice. Also,
it's confirmed. That's his age. It's in Kristen Baver's and Jason Fry's book with everybody. So it's legit.
Okay.
We got all Star Wars fans checking into What's Up, gang. There was a lot of people checking in. I did not get to. I apologize, but trust me, I was reading all the comments. You guys have so many good points, like this one.
Isaac, all Star Wars fans. Yeah, lots of people in here today.
Yeah, I saw Alex in there. I saw Crystal E in there. It's been where Osha. Yeah, Isaac is asking where Osha and May born of the Force, magic, the dark side. I think all three.
Kind of all the same. I think then a little bit of science. Like we said, he's a Sith alchemist, right? Is what Chimera is.
Yeah.
He said he was in the apothecary already, and his helmet is fixed up like Kylo's was. Then we know that was alchemist did that to Kylo.
Yeah.
So I think some science and Force combined made these kids.
Yeah. We also have Mando Mike in there also too. I want to say hi to him. But I think, what do you guys think, man? Like, I said 3 episodes left. We're gonna get the flashback. It's in there, and it doesn't have to be a whole episode of flashback. It could be half the episode. 10 minutes of. So it's half the episode.
Because we've already seen the story. We've already seen it. We just need to see the impact.
Like, we got exactly, and we got to see Vernestra's involvement in here. We're gonna have to. We got to brace ourselves for
somebody
Vernestra.
in here said Vernestra's the Sith Lord, and if they, like I said, don't waste that.
No, it can't be, because she has a broad history. There's a huge history with Vernestra.
She's
in
been
the High Republic
quietly
novels.
being there
the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah, she's just changed, and she's being at this point. It's primed for a cover up. It's what she's not going to the High Council with this. She's sent off Jedi as a secret mission. She's gonna die with this, and nothing's gonna get out, and it's gonna be a mystery of where the Jedi went, how they disappeared. That would end it really good for me. Like if these 9 Jedi with Vernestra too all disappeared, and nobody knew why. The secret of the Sith is still safe and stuff. So. I think it's still interesting on the May Osha thing. There's still a lot there that we're trying to figure out. So I think the next 3 episodes are going to deal with that. I do want to see Sith again. We were talking about last week. Where's the Sith? Where's like the evil stuff, or where's the dark side of this? Like Sith lore or whatever.
Just showed up.
I think it just started. It just showed up like big time. So. Oh man, a lot of theories flying out. So, what do you think, guys? You want to wrap this up and regroup again, and then go watch it again and just try to get our heads around it? And
did we talk about how awesome the lightsaber fighting was?
Oh man, we did, but
mention how cool snapping a Jedi neck is.
Okay, off-screen decapitation. It happened. Snapping of the neck, impaling American Me style. or stabbing American me style. The
Sith
banter,
kebab was-
the
Sith kebab.
Sith
was
kebab, the banter between this like insulting and just be like, oh, it has a name, and like really, come on, that is like Joey. If Joey was here, I think he might have that on repeat. That's what he would just like. I'm gonna watch Star Wars today, and they just have that. It's like boom, boom, boom.
There is one thing that I forgot to mention that we mentioned. There was Savage Opress, right?
Yeah,
not Savage or anything.
Savage, right?
Right. So.
Right. Savage.
Said, what if stranger is stranger? Like, it is. You get what I'm saying? It was there, but he's Dar Stranger. Like
Stranger.
Savage.
I think doesn't the helmet say the stranger?
That's what said. Yeah. Yeah.
It's in Shrewick right here.
By the way, yeah, the fact that the helmet says it too, right? I mean, that tells you the stranger is not the master, or he'd just be the master, right?
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I felt it was very important for him to say, I'm nobody, I'm nameless, or I'm nobody. Because that can have a lot of, I have no name, because again, you look into like Sith lore and stuff, he hasn't been given a name. This is his test. So like the whole Acolyte meaning means so much, and especially like in this world, right? We don't know a lot of it. It hasn't not been presented to us in this kind of fashion.
So now I went to, before we go, man, there was another theory up here I saw, and I'm not going to have trouble finding it.
Yeah.
But they were talking, and whoever said it, just go ahead and shout it out on here again. Thinking he was his long lost brother. I don't think that's a horrible.
Soul and Kamir.
Somebody said that. I mean, what would happen there? And I was reading it when we were going, but it wasn't the right time to bring it up in here.
Oh.
And with the next point on there was that Soul was taken and Kamir wasn't. As children, and I think that would be that would be pretty wild turnaround. That would be why the recognition issue. Now, would it work in a Star Wars world where we already have "I am your father," and it comes out
"I'm your brother" kind of stuff?
I mean, that's always been alluded to, right? Kenobi, we think he said he had a brother and he was taken and he wasn't, right?
And this would kind of put a lot of
and you don't go back with your family,
right? But this could be that it could play into like why Soul feels he's a little bit familiar, and then what Kamir's role. I remember we're talking about why is he interfering this way, and just why does it mean so much more that these 4 Jedi die? Or maybe he doesn't want Soul dead, and he's waiting. That's why he intervened, because Soul was there and Kanaka was dead, so he was the last one. And maybe he wanted to kill him. I don't know. That's a good. I mean, that's a good twist, man.
So I think it was No One Watches RG that said it, because they're chiming in. He's
yeah. So yeah,
and that's solid. I'm down with that. I wouldn't be horribly mad at that.
Bet you
it would be a small universe kind of, but that's what Star Wars is.
Absolutely.
Although didn't I see somewhere or read somewhere where it said they made Kofar, they were going to be on Kashyyyk, but they decided to make it Kofar so it would expand the universe more. I'm like,
I gotcha.
Sometimes that's cool, and sometimes it's like, don't you just give me another jungle planet? Like Jakku is not Tatooine, Kofar is not Kashyyyk. Just give me one of the other ones, and I'm quite fine. Because I think when you're on Kashyyyk, it's more like, it's a planet in Star Wars is a character, especially an old one, right? Kind of like Metropolis and Gotham are characters in DC. Kashyyyk, Coruscant, all these places are characters. So I think it would have been kind of cool to.
If you really want to blend in and not be this Wookiee on this one, where's the Wookiee? He's right there. Like, because everybody on this,
they're all.
Yeah. If he was on Kashyyyk, he'd blend in a lot more.
And they would have guarded him. No Wookiee was going to narc him out, right? No, you would have met 80-year-old Chewbacca, and he'd have been like,
"You're right. Yeah, it is kind of all Star Wars fan. I'll bring this up too before we leave. Did we notice the Zabrak mother wasn't dead in the room with the mothers and witches? Yeah, I brought that up earlier, saying like we saw the mother dead, the one who, not the one who carried her. So, I mean, maybe she's there, but they didn't focus on her. Like they didn't focus on her like they did with the other one. So
and she's the hardcore one.
Yeah, and maybe she's the one who.
You mean Maul and Savage's older sister?
Yeah, maybe she's the one who went to find Kamir and like for his help. Like, here's May. Maybe she was injured and they brought her back, and that's how she survived. I mean, there's a lot there still that could still be a whole thing. We got 3 episodes. We got 40 minutes left. We got 40 minutes of screen time left.
I hope these last 3 are long.
You're all good, All Stars fan. I just said, like, you reiterate, because again, we're all
checked
all
in late. You're in England, bro.
I know. All is
early.
Forgiven. Checked in early. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No one watches already. If they end up being brothers, can I be a guest? Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
Consider it done. Like, seriously, consider it done, because that would be, you're the only one that has that theory out there. So absolutely.
I haven't looked. I can't. After this show, I'm going to start diving onto Twitter and see if I get mad and hate this episode.
My skimming, I just skim socials. I don't really go, like, I see people, I just don't even engage.
Okay, I'm going to ask. Has Theory said anything stupid?
I have not. I think he's still on his lawsuit with Wikipedia. I have not seen anything pop up as far as theory wise.
The internet's such a dumb place, dude.
I know. So the only things I've seen so far have been like, great episode, still sucks. Like yeah. So
it didn't change the series completely for me, but it chilled me out.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, it's still, like I said, I from minute 1 to now, it's an 85 rating. It's a B. This episode is like beyond expectations, but it's still that overall thing, because again, I want to see it as a whole. Now, when as a whole, and I don't see a connection in the way that we talk, or the way it's, it makes sense, then I will reassess, and I will either, go up or down or stay the same. You know what I mean? There's a lot for me personally. I think there's a lot more going for it than negative going for it. Like, because again, there's questions that have potentially could make or break kind of stuff, and I'm here for it. I want to see it. Right. So
I'm just going to be mad if they do the Paul treatment to this dude. We had a helmet reveal today, but no figure.
No.
Right.
This Paul figure will sell.
No figure.
Yeah. I'm not saying Paul's won't. I'm just saying that they're so scared about making figures. Any Sith figure will sell. Like that, they will definitely.
But
they have to.
Like the 2 reveal today. If we get that, dude, come on.
I know. I know what you're saying. Now. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
a helmet, no figure. Come on.
Now, ham, no burger. I have a Khmer pop on order, but I'm waiting for the Stranger now.
Yeah,
masked. I want the mask with the cloak, and then the unmasked with the sleep.
Well, you're getting pops, so you're getting like everything.
I want. You're right. By the time I get done, I have 15 years.
I was just gonna say that, because the gauntlet, no gauntlet, helmet cracks, no helmet.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Dude, there's everything.
Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of our newest Patreon members there. 1313 still spreading the positive vibes too. I refuse to watch. Yeah, I mean, 1313 is always great. The guys, I've been watching them, they're even their shorts and stuff they're doing, I have a lot of fun with that. Tyrone King, true, Sith will sell. They can throw that figure out today and it will sell out on Pulse. Not everybody
easily.
Else, but easily.
It'll be hard to get.
It'd be hard to get.
Yeah.
Sin City Villain, I find it funny that people demand tolerance and attack negative people, but don't see their own total and complete lack of tolerance. Hypocrisy at its finest. That's it. Unfortunately,
I see my lack of tolerance, so I know it. That's not at me.
Yeah, that's the thing again, and I'll say this to kind of like piggyback on that. It's like, we'll talk about shows, and when we talk about something that doesn't work, we're going to be in constructive, critical about it, and we're going to put it in its place, negative or positive. And we don't like a lot of stuff. I mean, go back and listen to our sequel talk. It's not there. Like, we do not like.
We don't like being negative, mind you. We don't like it. But
we want to talk like this, We want to. Yeah, right. My problem is when I see other people saying Star Wars fans are so toxic. I'm like, yeah, but like not all of us. You know what I mean? And I don't. Sometimes I'm trying to put those guys in a different category as call them something else, because again, Star Wars fans put things in their perspective place. We survived the prequels. We survived the sequels. Or we're trying to survive the sequels. There's a lot of stuff that went down with George Lucas' prequels, and I'm going to say midichlorians was one of them that really put things up. And it's still, we could talk about midichlorians and still flip Star Wars on its head. We really could, you know what I mean? But we survived it. So the toxicity and the negativity doesn't have that kind of place when you call out people and you're trying to like really hurt the other person, or call out actors and throw in death. It just doesn't work. you talk about Star Wars, how things aren't working constructively, and you have a better time. You'll have a better time with it because you like what we do. We can theory craft around a lot of stuff. Now, I don't want to do that all the time, and I'm with Chris on that. I shouldn't have to just talk ourselves around things. We want to be presented and just kind of talk about it.
When it was a great episode of something else, right? We can come on here and just talk shit and be happy about it. And it's easy.
What makes me keep going is the fact that we get Star Wars content and we can branch it off into 18 different categories or 18 different avenues and have fun with every one of them. And that's where it keeps our brains going and how Star Wars fans do. It's not just something that we buy, put on a shelf, and walk away, right? So just want to throw that 2 cents in there. But
next week when Vanessa shows back up, I'll be back to
I'm preparing for it. I'll be like,
I'm pre-mad a week early because she's gonna have to come back.
Pre-mad Chris already a week early.
Yeah, we'll save the graphic. I'm just gonna launch the website or the episode with that, even if it's cool. I'm going to launch it with it. That started with Chris's pre-mad. Yeah.
She's here.
Yeah. All right, guys. Cool. Well, let's get out of here. You guys, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your comments or if you checked in and I didn't get to you. There was a lot going on. Even for just the three of us here, there was a lot to like juggle and talk about. It was rude. It was very rude of me. You can DM me at no. So Ernie, if you have nothing else, Chris, we're good to go. We'll reconvene again and bring those comments in there and keep this conversation rolling. So Ernie, why don't you go ahead and check us out?
Absolutely. Thank you guys, everyone, for joining us, whether you're new or you've been here in the past or you happen to stumble upon us like a lot of people are. Hit that thumbs up, please, and then hit a subscribe button. I guarantee you're going to be happy with your choice. Hit the bell for notifications and hit all so you don't miss when we're on, like Mondays with special shows that we got on you. Make sure and go back and check that out. Last Monday's show was which one?
The toy chest? What we did?
The toy chest? It wasn't... Yeah.
Beyond?
I thought we were alternating here.
We've been skipping Beyonds right now, and because the toys are up front right now, so we've been dropping toy tests. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't even know there was one this week. I didn't see a link.
My bad. We'll talk off air.
Start that toy box. Go check that out. Or then it will be alternating with Beyond the Pit, where we stick around and talk and go off subject about lots of different things, but we give it to you. If you'd like to know how to help out the channel, the thumbs up, the comments below, the replays, the spreading of the news helps us out. We got super chats, but also too, we do have our Patreon where you can become part of the Shadow Council and get some cool stuff. We got merch out there as well, and that always helps and goes towards the channel. Also helping us out is our sponsor, Tashi Station Emporium, for all your figure stand needs. If there's something that you really want to yell at Moocher about, put in your order at Tashi Station, then attach a note after that with why you're mad at Moocher. And he'll really, think about it. Come up front with it. But it's got to be over $50 or more.
It's a tier. Yeah, it's a tier request. Yeah.
Seriously, go follow Tashi Station Emporium on YouTube right now, or go over to the website. The link is below. Check that all out. He is on Instagram as well. You can see the space walls, everything to soup up your dio, not only from figure stands, but much, much more. He's got a lot cooking, showing up at shows as well, too. So go check that out over at TashiStationEmporium.com right now. Thank you guys very much for joining us. Unfortunately, Bootleg Joe was not here, but follow him over there on social at Bootleg Joe 760. You also have the Art of Scott Solo. Scott was not here tonight. Missed a good one. I'm sure he will be returning next week, but that is the Art of Scott Solo. We have a Dark Dad right there who is also running our Twitter page of the Starlight Digest. Scott runs over there on TikTok with minute reviews. He also has toy reviews over on here too. And then Moocher over on Instagram with the Starlight Digest as well, or Tachi Station Emporium. I am the Fallen Fett. Just check that out. I got the Fallen Fett Chronicles going on and much, much more. You want some toy talk? Check us out over on Toy Migos every Thursday night, or immediately following if you do want to break down scene by scene over with the Boba Squadron. And check that out. I have the links on my page too. It's all a happy Star Wars family here. You're right. Either you hate it or you love it. You can come here, state your comment, join with us or not. It's all love. It's all Star Wars. And we'll regroup and see how this ends. Yes. Bulek is the quiet guy, right? He's the real Sith Lord pulling the strings behind the scene.
Very quiet.
They figured it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a smart one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't given any clues to that. Shit.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys very much, and we will catch you on the next episode.
All right. And with that, Chris.
Stay geeky, fuckers.
Oh, there's the one.
He got the one. The
Got
one
it in. I
the
thought
end.
today was going to be a lot more of it, but yeah.
I know. It's pretty good.
It wasn't.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.